Sara Mahan Zambaba Home Paraso Hai Om Natatanam Tagaram Janan Hunter Tashib Shokti Shana Jipaya Sarje Chuda Gina Wardana Durjim Zanam Shere Zawa Gumbo Shamba Walasaya Nyambo Japan and Beresadanam Ki Nyambo Pagam Chagandab Zan Apala Durji Parkarela Shantan or Dava Radanya Maya Shamsana Lagnam Jashi What a game Chop Shanchibus and Jala Shamsala Renchina Dim Jagam Jashi Serjanyam Dom John Wamza Yellow Kamala Yantagadon Panzo what we and the Bedjamsana Wam Jeram Corridor Renchina Damja Jeb Shamsanam Chanam Shakti Jeravam Churjam Deep Jetama Garsong Tashin Hamo Jella Shamsalo Samba Chimbu Dim Jointin made the Merton and Jellabo Yelam Corridor Party Botan the Wami Mabzanam Do Jidin Harzim Corlo Tanta Shalat Don't toy Durji Janamba Wada the Jeb Jurtin Jamsanam Zanas Hasaman is a Gelagam Tashi Bidin Jitin Joa Jella Shamsalo Dagatam Darab Shawa Sumba Gatani Waran Sewa Kanajan Ruramojan and Chaja Zinabza So Jib Janavi Mulam Liv Jovi Kanamzam Chula Burjanji Zejaraje Namor Najaya Namo Bangawati Badr Sarajamardana Tatangataya Arahati Samyasa Badaya Tariata Umban Zirimban Zirim Mahambandir Mahadin Bandar Mahabayam Bandar Mahabutam Bandar Mahabutaman Basan German Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishudana Badr Sohana Morana Jaya Namo Bangawati Bandar Sarajamardana Tatangataya Arahati Samyasa Badaya Tariata Umban Zirimban Zirim Mahambandir Mahadin Bandar Mahabayam Bandar Mahabutam Bandar Mahabutaman Basan German Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishudana Bandar Sohana Morana Jaya Namo Bangawati Bandar Sarajamardana Tatangataya Arahati Samyasa Badaya Tariata Umban Zirim Mahambandir Mahadin Bandar Mahabayam Bandar Mahabutam Bandar Mahabutaman Basan German Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishudana Bandiri Malisim Janankananja Gunam Jerajan Dade Hom Jim Zadam Jum Zadalha Gunamamalim Jeb Janam Kenan Jerapa Jamadanam Kurum Jinindar Shalzam Datam Dolam Dim Zim Shir Yerajizam Charam Tayina Chudam Chuna Babdab Jedaba Te Chadam Chumadan Jizulam Bagban Jam Hola Junra Kirbala Psham Chanya the Satakam Shubji Jitanana Tisama Sherba Maya Sangekan Dake Male Tatatam Jadada Ledang Agada Tami Shabja O Zambu Sherba Mulam of Dake Jarva Tam Jadaya Jem one Samanda Daniela Dera Mantadabaye Jarva Kalnarata Shamsalalo Darchitana Daniela Sardinam Sardieti Jawinam Zipata Etara Chujianam Malipa Tamjada Jarava Taki Kavaremo Tetakam Gapa Mazada Jamsu Nama Yanji Alaga Jamsu Dekanji Jarava Kanji Yundan Rabjuda Jam Devara Shakpa Tamjada Dakiptud Metawa Tamban Chawa Tambata Selanyana Nandam Shipa Dim Chawada Maramim Chagata Dipu Dambaye Jarava Tetakalanam Chupurubja Nabza Tamba Namtan Chagata Shima Paramara Nyambata Kodapa Chalaparam Pagapam Chokanji Jarava Tetakalanam Chupurubja Chulpa Ganam Lemila Jachiva Tita Jarava Tamchadalayamo Zambu Shula Taraput of Taraki Jarava Kalab Shamsalam Chupurubja Dola chaga jerda te me wangina li tanga dan tip jena ye ji ja adik bab da ke ji pam chim chi ba te ta ga tham cha dab da ke so surub shang shok ji jarwa kan da sa ji ji ran ji da nam dam lob da mal lob da do kan jim son nam kan la yan te ta ga kan ji ji sab da ya ra kan nam shok jim ji tin dun ma nam shang che berim ber sanji ma chagni gombo te tagab da kin tham chadalam korolo lana mirpam koruram kul nyangananda tuna kamjala de tagala do akan la pham jang de vapshir kalapa jangat nyalab ji parayam dagge thalmorab jeram sorvaram je Wadam chud jam shabada jis ye ram kar jam sorvaya gewa chon zalab dakin chap sagapa tham chadab dakim jam chibab shirab ngoy shab janab jik pa sanji jam dandi tham chadada sab chala ne pab jam chib sen hwa chimbo nam lama durjim zamba chimbo nam daglar gon sol shan chib nyamburam ji war sanji nam la jab zum Chudam Shanchib Sing Hua Zola Division Jabsum Shanchib Nyamburum Chiji Wara Sanji Namla Jabsum Chudam Shanchib Sing Hua Zola Division Jabsum Shanchib Nyamburum Chiji Wara Sanji Namla Jabsum Chudam Shanchib Sing Hua Zola Division Jabsum Chatar Munjib Desh Jim Shanchibitinam Jelapata Shanchib Sing Wim La Pala Teta Ramjanani Patar Tibjan Dola Pandunda Shanchib Sim Nam Jib Jajan Tibjan Tanam La Pala Rambab Janda La Paravja Chatarang Jib Desh Jim Shanchibitinam Jelapata Shanchib Sing Wim La Pala Ramjanani Patar Tibjan Dola Pandunda Shanchib Sim Nam Jib Jajan Tibjan Tanam La Pala Rambab Janda La Paravja Chatarang Jib Desh Jim Shanchibitinam Jelapata Shanchib Sing Wim La Pala Teta Ramjanani Patar Tibjan Dola Pandunda Shanchib Sim Nam Jib Jajan Tibjan Tanam La Pala Rambab Jandam La Paravja Dandi Daktim Div Yud Me to the Balag Parataba Tera Sarji Researchi Sarji Jezata Jerto Tanab the kitchen Jari Tam Tambale Zamante Jumalam Samburim Dala Yoparam Jerate Tarapsha Lovim Shatara Pambuli Chetter and Chin and Yanapatar Tibjana Jazu Tartini Shanchib Simna Daglashi Daki Teram Churpatam Jada Jub Shangaram Do of the Shagan Yalatan What the De Lam Jundu Wuzan and Jil Hadan Laman Lasogavaji Shanchib Sim Churum Bochi Marchi Banamaji Jiraji Stipaniam Bami Parayan Koni Kondam Pirasho Shanchib Sim Tamam Jarajam Shanchib Shulab Jarvatan Sardi Namji Yonzom Sham the Jilina Pavarasho Shanchib Sim Wanam Dutun Tila Gondribisho Yena Gargomba, Simchana Namla on Timjurso, Simchana Tamchada Deta, Danjuraji, Andrew Tamchada Tata, Tovarasho, Shanchipes and Huakan, Serbiba, Deta Ganji, Molam, Japarejo, Mahoja, Dechan Barava, Wanga, Bojanda, Detonzo Rutopa, Yishirka, Machaga Devdan, Bami Ramjani, Durjania Mana, Chimbo. Churkana one day, Durji Chum, Jitan, Wamji, Tiji, Chazi, Paramajerabum, Kundinga, Wamjiran, under the Zana, once in Heraga, Sama Yashi, Bandara, Dem Chandor, Jerbo, de Chinetira, Mali Jergi, Elam Tori, Shetaman, Chotanam Shaji, Wamsi, Death, Wamza Durji, Wawandaki, ki so na tong niam ba chim bo nga nya le ta dur je kai gar je cha sama yo gam le zong gam je din kam sam ge wa zar mar bom kon de on la cha ba de ji tam cha de yo sha da per shen dur je cha ba chim bu ti ji na nam ni mo drum dar gim cha to do ja dur je cha cha ba chim bu yi na cha de wa chim bu dum shi le ba thai yam da da ba ro kar cha na dar je kon wa shi ba jim ji ba ram jam sa sama wan gal ha zo la ki bi zruan dip su shin ji lo cha ta na ngo drum dar ge kwa ta da to mi le wan da jil bu ngo zhi bu zo lo ma hu she de chin ba ra wa wan ga pop jang da de tong so so ro to pe ye shi ka ma cha ga de da na ba mi ram jan ni dur je nya ma na wa chim bu khan chur ka na wam thai du ji chum ji ta na wam shi ti ji ji cha zi pa ma de ra bom khon de nga wam je ra na da za na wan chen he ra ga ye shin ban za ra ra ha dem chong da ba je ba de chin ne ti ma ni cher gi yelam tho ri phe ta ma am cha ta nam sa de wam shi de tong kar wam za dur ji khwa wan da ki so na tong nyam ba chim bu nga nya la ta dur ji kai gar ji sta sama yo nga ma na song ga ja ji kham sam gi wala zara mar pom khon de on la cha ba de ji tam cha de yo sha da per phe dur ji cha ba chim bu ti ji na nam ni mo drum dar gim cha to lo ja dur ji cha cha ba chim bu yi na cha de wa chim bu dam she le pa ta ye jam cha da va ro kar cha na dar ji kon ba she ba jam ji pa ram jam sa sama wan gal ha zo la ki bi zo ram dip su shin ji lo cha ta na mo drum dar ge khwa ta da to mi le wan da je bu ngo zhu zo lo ma hu she de chen ba ra wa wan ga pop jang da de tong so so ro to pe ye shi ka ma cha de da na ba mi ram jan ni dur je nya ma na wa chim bo khal chur ka na wam thai du je chum ji te na wam shi te ji ji cha zi pa ma de bom khon de nga wam je na ta zan no wan chen he ra ga sa wa ye shi ba da ra ra dem jang dar ba jer ba de chen ne dir ma ne cher gi yelam tho ri phe ta ma cha ta nam sa de wam shi ge de tong kar wam za le dur ji khwa wa da ki so na tong nim ba chim bo nga nya da dur ji kai gar ji cha sa用来贴本的ji当真的要上的不是心，多见这个半亲不提起呢，那你我真的给们操作多少，多见这个半亲不一，那这了对外亲不的东西了吧？他也用着了这个罗克的家呢，得了结果我媳妇什么这个吧，让他们啥什么换个来做了，给别人玩的手心结了，瞧他那我真的给换他的，托米的换的不是了不，我这不做了，我见那也是。那不想咱们把他们给死了当不了，样子能就个我这边你把他们让你日子这个过得看着忙不过人家的日子不得这边的心机，路不是的想死死了，个人把他们死的不好，这的本个人参加得到，这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接得到，这不能怪别人他做了，所以问题是。心结了不是那上面玩车子了300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加的这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的这不是能搞点他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子了300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加的这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的这不是能搞点他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子了300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的这不心觉他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的这不心觉他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的心觉他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当这不认真情不觉得像什么你我直接的这心觉他走了所以问题是心结了不是那上面玩车子300也不是的白的就当他们我知不知道前来都是讲说的话，但本天这个时候讲的你不是不是个是。 那大个了旁他不做的热哇的，去当真心皮儿不是咋的都说了，见面了当半年了当点钟个，那晚别米了送几见面似的，让的那南克人就真的见做会人前的上车把了年的味道。顿把聪明的小姐上给那，谁的肩到这能看到会是了的呢？去过什么说了都是一些的装饰，是个夜色那那是个家乐江上，是个有那娘是个不得劲，红子了那么谁的姐的得了自己了花的白了哇，也是我是的这位快乐家本你我是不觉得你不能吃这说。他从江从口的基用口的上，真把咱们这心太美丽。台湾吃花花的走路啊，家不可能的不等你的钱不得死了，娘亲钱不说的那你米上，从你莫了们钱不俺家的，把个的他让我怎么都是么的都会东北的街真难是咁子了咯，大个人那个什么给错龙吃的鸡，跟上吃的不真的没年不了，他们的那不是个地东买里边。娘们觉得把这个不说说人是个，拍个当说说些我给完的，第什么是个垃圾是也让我，咱不讲价钱去进口的路子了，是个这人家们吃了不然口的说了，就那南卡大鱼也是个，第什么碰见没把人是个么的去，但是那我的见这个吃了都能讲，这不是个大个大那我人做的，大概第什么是个不给做进。快结婚着啊，跟那盘他了的，出去家了不大个不然你不是来讲，出去家了不光盘头不然说，大个这你明着啊，个米了那么提进大个不然上不把这那里。上当天的人前的那么什么节，那我今年的节金成年的，对不是的讲这个聪明的媳妇儿，也的期待的别娘的说的对吧呢？我觉他们这进步满年的玩儿，上次不玩的提起，金子能做的，才能觉得白当，让里不先接东北可能也是的，我是那做不能完进步，当心真他们这。的ji rapa tham chalab sarajan thakpa chimbo lamje yondan salab janda chid sharmar taqba sanambar samla blama tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumba ya da par zopa sarji kharjer shajada bala bshagam zalam chutur chapsim shawam lam tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumba ya da par zopa sarji kharjer shajada bala bshagam zalam chutur chapsim shawam lam tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumba ya da par zopa sarji kharjer shajada bala bshagam zalam chutur chapsim shawam lam tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumba ya da par zopa sarji kharjer Shagam zalam chutur chapsim chawam lama tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumbaya da par zopa sarji kharjer shagjada bala shagam zalam chutur chapsim chawam lama tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumbaya da par zopa sarji kharjer shagjada bala shagam zalam chutur chapsim chawam lama tumba chumdan di tibjana shakhbada chumbaya da par zopa sarji kharjer shagjada bala Shagin Zala Chutur Japson Cho Taredo Mani Mani Mahamanaizo 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 Taredo Umani Mani Mahamanaizo Umani Mani Mahamanaizo Umani Mani Mahamanaizo Umani Mani Mahamanaizo Mani mani mahamane zo mani mani mahamane zo mani mani mahamane zo mani mani mahamane zo ha devara shagpa chirka chamda dam kurdan katsi sata jankamanda cherjem sam chag zambu chandra wa tendra konaram dagso jirvara sho nami sarvata thangata bayo bakhuma khambe sarvata khangate saparana man gangana kanso hai je do to na kandava dam ham thawochi resam bami jim jada sanchana jal nora dam da kwa dur bonyem jim solam chato sam don hanjavan zod jim do to na kandava dam ham thawochi resam bami jim jada sanchana jal nora dam da kwa dur bonyem jim solam chato sam don hanjavan zod jim do to na kandava dam ham thawochi resam bami jim jada sanchana jal nora dam da kwa dur bonyem jim solam chato sam don hanjavan zod gandab samo yeshi rubasala jijarmo ekanzatram Mamo Tom Solam Chatam Churim Chanim Hoy Gandab Samo Yeshi Rubasala Ayanji Jarmo Ekanzatram Yeshi Tam Jitin Mamozo Yeshidubasala Yanji Jarmo Ekanzatram Yeshide Tam Jetin Mamozo Solam Chatam Churmi Chanlim Zudesh Tong Chimji Chimbura Hala Tapanam Jiradom Chajadam Zatan Jakara Tapatip Jinjim Solam Chatam Churmim Chanim Zud Tong Chimji Chimbura Hala Tapanam Jiradom Chajadam Zatan Jakara Tapatip Jinjim Solam Chatam Churmim Chanim Zud Tong Chimji Chimbura Hala Tapanam Jiradom Chajadam Zatan Jakara Tapatip Jinjim Solam Chatam Churmim Chanim Zud Tamjana Jeva Chembuti Limsan, Yedin Damam Zangam Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zuda, Hoy Tamjana Jeva Chembuti Limsan, Yedin Damam Zangam Ponitso, Capture some Jetty Zodamji, Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zuda, Hoy Tamjana Jeva Chembuti Limsan, Yedin Damam Zangam Ponitso, Capture some Jetty Zodamji, Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zuda. Bama Wango Quanyanam to watch, Chips on a Dagabajar boy on a wear, the Marbo Quakuram Japanji, Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zut, Chapama Wango Quanyanam to watch, Chips on a Dagabajar boy on a wear, the Marbo Quakuram Japanji, Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zut, Chapama Wango Quanyanam to watch, Chips on a Dagabajar boy on a wear, the Marbo Quakuram Japanji, Solom Chatam Churmim Chanim Zut. Ganjiyan Tamba Zamji Jang Churjon Yevjana Norva Janam Jib Dagam Samtumali Nyerenjavan Zodam Korndi Chukana Gatari Banga Ramda Mamga Yeshi Orngi Long Wardanam Jambu Durjila Namba Chepchi Yevjanam Norva Karasalam Zimzam Banda Taya Chin Chum Chedab Shirji Radja Wamanam Jabani Kelatron Walazaram Midam Cho Harana and Tapa Janda Lama Mir Salai Chinero Serni Kama Sajama Walay the Egyptian Lab Yedalashman Jimmy the Panzo Jabala Solora Deva There's the Bahem Bover Shanandi Lover. ane chinere o serni jang kama san jama khole de geb shalab yela Jimmy the Panzoy Jabala Solorwa Dever Gom Jeder to Baim Pover Pshenanki Love Ni Chinero Serni Kama Sanjama Waladi Yepshanan Lab Yedala Shmana Jimmy the Banzoy Jabala Solorwa Deva Jeder to beim Pover Pshenanti Lovam Tarnam Lama Olangi Tilir Jerang Pshawani Janya Wintam Jalakan Yashi Jim Dim Lamada Kalawam Yambub Shanab Toba Parasam Jiva Ganda Yantam Lama Time Janmel Chujin Walla Lobshadaja Sada Lamji Yundan Rabzoni Durjim Changa Gomba Nura Tobasho Jamadandim Gombon Jamhalayan Jam Zalalo Ganga Lobjudum Yajam Daranyataranam Tarab Sadavi Janyara Dongan Jabjam Zipshirin Yilji the Karalawam Zan Gondaka Tarpa Zara Mare Mantan of the other teaser Dotsoka Ganava Jim Tarzi Yalla Gigi Ayandan Zom Dictor Chetrogam Yamon Only Chokotokotrum Zadaja Mariga Mamsada de Hamadanyaka Chimyala Cholam Zadarata Done Takjan Sab Jim Tarsu Yundanali Zogajati Tahoshka Chatagab Jatan Cheni Janchi Daglu Mamsalam Jam Hola Ayala the Umara Patana the Umara Patana Umara Patana the 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 Sedanan Jerjim Chanara, what is it? Dagalor Tamig Mambar of Salani, Quadam Tamchu, Jean Lee Topayam, Lotur, Podapa, Nawa, Tiana de Solo.
好，今天是星期六是吧？
Today is Saturday,
然后下个星期六
and
讲论语。
regarding the next week's schedule, we will have the Analects class on Saturday, on next Saturday.
然后星期
And
六
Monday, Tuesday, we will have
再
Suragama.
下个星期六讲宝训论。
On the Saturday, we'll have the Analects, and the following week on the Saturday, we will have Uttara Tantra Shastra.
学习啊。
So it alternates.
我们这个学习论语呢，现在
In terms of studying the Analects,
今天是第7章
we
开始，
are
也就是
we have
说
finished the
第
sixth
一篇
chapter
当
or
中
the
第二
sixth
篇里面
part
就我们现在
out of the first
讲到
book.
第7章。
Now we move to the seventh chapter, and by chapter I mean
第7章呢，
then one sentence over
这样
here
讲
that's marked.
啊，就是
On the
自相应
seventh, it says that Zisha said, if a person is able to appreciate moral worth as much as he appreciates physical beauty, in fact, in this
首
simple
先
teaching over here, it includes 5 aspects.
明白的就是
That was the
这
first one.
这一章的话呢，全部是自下，就是他
And in this
自
chapter,
下是说是
all the teachings are given by Zisha,
这个弟子当
who
中啊
is
就是
a disciple
在
of
44
Confucius.
岁
He was 44. He is 44 years a junior of
离开世界
Confucius,
之后的话呢，
and
也是在整个这个就在战国初期的时候，
around the beginning of
就教育
the
就
war
成为一个
state,
非常伟大的学者
he was a great
对
scholar.
整个这个孔子的
He
思
was
想啊，就弘扬思想方面就是有
a disciple who propagated the
那
teaching
么
of
这个
Confucius.
自下的话呢，就是主要是
And
讲
Zisha,
学问啊，就是
he talked
下面
quite a bit
就是
about
11篇
academics and
也会讲
teachings, especially around
自下
the
和
11th book,
自由就是他们都是
which
讲了一些文学
Zisha and Ziyu talked quite a bit about
自
literature,
语学问，它这里
such
这个学
as
问的话呢
the
主要是这个自下
previous one
它和
when
这个思想有一定的关系。
the master said in the previous chapter where he said that if he has energy left to do more, he should devote himself to the arts. And talking about devotion to the devoted the time to the arts as well as academics, I think this is much of the influence of coming from Zisha. The disciples of Confucius also gave lots of teachings, and it is included in the Analects. In Buddhism, also, there are the teachings that's given by the disciples, such as Shariputra, Madhgalyayana, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, and Ananda, and so on. All these kind of disciples and bodhisattvas would also give teachings on the truth. And whatever they teach are also viewed as no difference than the Buddha's teaching. And over here, it talks about how Zisha over here then give this teaching. That if a person is able to appreciate moral worth as much as he appreciates physical beauty, in fact, this is interpreted very differently, and especially the Chinese language has different meanings. Therefore, it is then interpreted in different ways. case, on top of that, because it doesn't really have any lineage or any kind of lineage that's passed down, therefore the interpretation of certain contexts could be very different. Unlike in Buddhism, the majority of teaching are passed down through lineage. Therefore, the teaching is very much similar. And such kind of teachings cannot be violated because of such kind of lineage of teaching that's passed down all the way from the previous masters and their masters and so on. But the teachings given by Confucius doesn't have such kind of lineage. Therefore, different scholars and different philosophers would then explain the teachings by Confucius and his disciples in various different ways, in the ways that they then understand. I think the previous masters, their language have many different meanings. They could have very profound meanings. And because of such profundity, everyone could use their wisdom to then interpret, and we can have very different perspectives to look at such teachings. We can definitely take and study other people's perspective at the same time to then interpret in the way that we understand according to our mentality and understanding. Over here, it says that if a person is able to appreciate, the first one is appreciation, and the second Chinese word which means noble or sense of integrity. And then the third word in Chinese, it says that it is very easy to change or prone to change. And in general, what it means is that if one person has this inner integrity and inner value, this person doesn't have to care too much about the external or the physical beauty. This four goes around. This four, in fact, discuss around the family, such or people around you, the community around you, such as the family members, such as a wife and husband, and then parents, and then the king or emperor that you serve, and then the friends. So it talks about the four different groups, and then the first one, it talks about how if one is able to appreciate the moral worth within the other person as much as he appreciated physical beauty. Or the other way of explaining it is that if a person has great moral worth, then that person's physical beauty is not as important. For example, if people's external appearance are not really so good looking, but if that person has great charisma, even if the external appearance is not of the most beautiful and most attractive, but still people would like to approach them. There are people nowadays who have lots of money. Maybe they're not so beautiful looking, but since that person is rich, then other people also have this tendency to approach the rich person. Just like that, if a person who is rich in inner morality and inner charisma, then even if he doesn't look so beautiful on the outside, then others can still be very much attracted to that person. Anyhow, despite the different ways of explaining it, during the war state, even during that time, the emphasis was very much placed on the inner morality instead of the physical appearance. The uncommon charisma is much more important than the physical beauty. Just as in the ancient times, it is recorded that one of the most ugliest women in Chinese history, that is recorded in Chinese history. In fact, throughout the history, you can see the description where it says that she's of this really dark complexion that is not appreciated in the Chinese aesthetics, and really, really overweight and not very pleasant to look at. All of such kind of physical appearance and qualities. But she has lots of inner morality, such as she's very inclusive, very big-hearted, really kind, and very smart, have lots of wisdom. So despite her ugly physical appearance, the emperor took her as one of his consort. And because of her smartness, she invented different objects, including a mirror. Her name is Mumu, and she was the first one who discovered the reflective quality of certain rocks, and then she was very much startled by the look, her own look that's reflected in the rock. At that time, there was no there's no actual mirror that we use nowadays, or in the ancient times that's then made by different metals. But she then saw this reflective quality of that rock, and then used that quality and made mirrors available to others. So her wisdom and smartness was what impressed other people, and then passed it down to future generations. Same as a great famous man who was very good at strategizing and was very important in Chinese history. His name is Zhuge Liang, and he married to a really unpleasant-looking woman, but she was very smart, and she then made lots of inventions before he did, and she inspired him further to make lots more inventions. So sometimes some people could appear to have very good looks, but even if with the most gorgeous physical appearance, if that person does not have very the gentleness and friendliness towards others, and inclusiveness and kind-heartedness, so these kind of qualities, if these kind of qualities are lacking from a person, then doesn't matter if he or she looks really beautiful, other people won't get attracted. Yes, nowadays people do care very much about the external appearance, but what's the most important is the inner wisdom. Just like during the G7, the president of Brazil had this debate with Macron, the French president, because of the looks of Macron's wife. And the First Lady of France responded to the Brazil's president. The French people was really upset because they felt that it was very humiliating and responded that we can then make judgment and make different comments about our first lady, but you can't, as someone who's not even French. So anyhow, people nowadays, they do care so much about their appearances, but the looks are very temporary. The looks are just like the fresh summer flowers in Tibet that would wither within 1 or 2 months. At the first frost, all the flowers will wither really fast. Just like the flowers, people's appearance could change really quickly. No one could maintain their external appearance for a whole life. Ponsong Rinpoche also said that the most beautiful mark of a person is not a physical beauty, rather the inner beauty. If you do not have a good heart, if you do not have such kindness, doesn't matter what kind of time you are living in, what kind of community you live in, you will not thrive without a kind heart. So the Confucius also give this teaching on the inner beauty, and the inner morality values much more than the external appearance. Yes, the external appearance could attract some people, but if a person lacks in the inner morality and inner beauty, then such attraction won't last long either, and could probably bring lots of suffering. So that's the first level of this teaching. The first aspect, and then the second aspect is be able to serve his parents with utmost effort. So a person should be respectful and have a filial piety towards his parents and serve his parents as much as possible, to try one's best to serve one's parents. In the West nowadays, especially the West, young people have not received such education. And the way they feel is that, yes, the parents do have great kindness towards them, but the kindness or repaying the kindness of parents is not of the priority on their mind. Rather, how to benefit oneself is of the priority for the young people in the West, or the ones who received the Western education. But according to the Eastern philosophy as well as Buddhism, we consider that if the parents did not care or did not take care of the child with great kindness, then there's no way for a child to survive. According to the commentary of Words of My Perfect Teacher, it says that the parents at least kept you alive. You did not die because of thirst or hunger or coldness, but you survived because of the care, because you were under the care of your parents. And they protected you until that you are of this age. So they definitely have such kind of kindness towards you. So for those people who could remember the kindness of their parents, or could not, at least you should remember that you are alive now because of the kindness of your parents and the care of your parents. So you should at least repay their kindness. And the third aspect talks about to serve to serve his Lord without self-interest. His Lord refers to, for example, to his manager, to his boss, or to his lama, teacher, such as these kind of people. One, over here it talks about one should then try one's best to serve his superior. And it is outside of his own family, such as his parents and elders. Rather, it is his superiors who probably has more responsibility towards a larger community. In many countries, it's like that nowadays. It is important to show respect to one's parents, but it is also as important, if it's not more, to show respect towards the superior, to serve the superior, to care for one's superior. It, in fact, comes to a different community, a larger community. I think it must be a little bit difficult for people to understand this kind of perspective, but it is okay for you to have a different opinion as well, because this kind of teaching works also in different time, in different society, different community, in different mindset. During the Southern Song Dynasty, there was a cabinet who ran away with the young emperor who was only 8 years old at that time. And because the Southern Song Dynasty was deconstructed at that time, and they were chased by over 100,000 armies or soldiers from their enemy. Therefore, at that time, the cabinet then carried the 8-year-old emperor, and he didn't want to leave this child emperor to his enemy because the child would be tortured to death. Rather, he then jumped from the cliff and died in the ocean along with the young emperor, so that they died with integrity rather than humiliation and suffering. In Tibet, we say that a tiger would rather die as a hero than dying as a fox, because it is important to die with integrity rather than to live under the skin of a fox, which is not very, which is not very honorable. So over here it talks about honor. The cabinet then sacrificed himself for the emperor, for his superior. Therefore, he sacrificed the most precious thing of his, that is his life. In the history, there are many different stories such as this. Some religious and culture In fact, lots of religious people, in fact, died from protecting their own religion. Or they're willing to sacrifice their lives for the person who gives them the precious teachings. So what the point is it points out is that the family members should have morality, inner morality that is more important than beauty. And to one's parents, one should serve them as much as they can to repay their kindness. And to serve one's lord or superior, one should be able to be completely devoid of self-interest. And then the next one talks about how to be with friends. So in his relationship with friends is trustworthy in words. Trustworthiness, or such kind of trust, is in fact quite valued nowadays, especially in the West. There are people who are rather very superficial, and for such kind of people, it is very difficult to be trustworthy or to be taken as the trustworthy one. Nowadays, lots of people have lots of doubts, have lots of complexity, and for such kind of people, I think they live in great suffering. Therefore, upon witnessing such kind of mentality, I think to myself from time to time that maybe it is better to be slow from time to time rather than being very smart and full of doubts. Just like yaks. Yaks, they are very simple-minded. They only look for food. I was a yak herder ever since I was 5 or 6 years old until 15 or 16 years old. So I herded for a decade. I would herd under the blue sky, the white clouds, on the beautiful green carpet of grass. And from time to time, I would contemplate and think to myself that I think yaks are quite easy to fulfill. They have this contented life. It's very easy to make them happy. They would then eat and drink from the lake, and then they would rest under the shades of a pine tree, and then they would do some maybe makeup or try to make their fur look beautiful by shaking and so on. So simple-minded brings lots of contentment. But what I notice nowadays is that people are very easily to get very suspicious of one another, even friends. In fact, people have very short life, and in such kind of complexity, if you were to have such a mentality of complexity, then your life would be wasted with such kind of lots of thoughts. It is probably better to be simple. Some people may seem to be very simple, but simpleness sometimes is a sign of wisdom. When it comes to important matters, then they would contemplate and they know how to use their wisdom at the most important part. They know how to use their wisdom at the blade of the knife, so to speak. But there are people who don't. There are people who use their wisdom on trivial matters. So when it comes to friendship and comes to interpersonal relationships, whether with your friends or your relatives and family members and so on, I think it is quite important to remain simple.
啊，就比如说，
people
就是你给我说一句话
in
啊，你给
some
我只
people
说这
in
句话是你的动机是
Tibet,
什么？你的
I
原
think
因是什么？
sometimes they
那你的这个家族就是原来
purposely
原来
or
就是可能700
without
年你的爷爷
knowing,
跟我的爷爷有仇
not
的，就是因为
knowingly
这个
they
原因，你今天是肯定有目的告诉我的。所以有
make
些老
things
师可
more
能没什么
complex
事情做的，
without
然后
any
把这件
meaning.
事情小题大做，就是
They
然后
would start
就
looking
就
for
有很
because
多
so
这
and
个
so
这
you did
可
so
能
and
是
so,
人
and
就是
they
有的时
started
候是有一
arguing
些
and making
愚笨的
things
这个原因啊，就是
unnecessarily
原来
difficult
我们那
for
个
other
在
people and
成都的时
themselves.
候呢，就是当时
When
上
I
师
was
身
in
体不太好
Chengdu,
嘛，
and
就是
Ponce
然后
Rinpoche was
就我们
ill
这个
at
在
that
上师
time,
身边有几个人，
and
然后呢
a few
有一个
of
喇嘛
us
呢，就是
were
经常
around
特别的
him.
害怕。我今天早上看
Ponce
好像上师有点
Rinpoche,
不高兴啊，上师没有
around
是不
Ponce
是有点不
Rinpoche,
高
there
兴？
was
是
a
不是我做
lama.
错了事
He
情了？
was very
然后另
sensitive.
外
He
有一个
kept
看
on
过，你
saying
不要
that,
再胡说乱想，
well,
你要做简单化，就是
I feel
就
I
不要
did
顾虑
something
太
wrong
多了。实
because
际上
Ponce Rinpoche's
就
expression is
说
very
是上
different.
师
Did
就
I
不
do
会这
something
样的，
wrong?
确实也是这样的。
And
不管
then a
上师也
different
好，道
lama
友
said
也好，
that to
我们
stop
人与人之
thinking
间
in
的
such
话
a
呢，
way. You're just
应该
making
是就是
you're
相
just
处的
making
话
things
就比
more
较
complex than
有
it
信
has
任
to
就可
be.
以。如果没有信任的话呢，你
Of
再
course,
怎么样，
as
就是所有
as
的这
a
个可能你的内脏
an
掏
enlightened
出来的
master,
话
he's
呢，
not
就是还
going
是是
to
这个内脏掏出来也是血肉，除此之
have
外也是
different
只要你信
have
信任的
such a
就是也
complexity of
没有办
emotions
法，
towards
就是所
whatever
以
little things you
跟
have
别人
you
合
may have
作也
done.
好，或者说是
So
一起这个修行也好，做任何事情
when
的
it
话呢，就
comes
是人对
to
人就是有这个心呢，就是很
cooperating
好。
with
如果
others,
你
when it
不
comes
信的话
to
那怎么
then
样？就是
working with
人就是
others
是一个
and
复
so
杂的动
on,
物，
I
就
think
是
it is
跟
important to
其他的
develop
动物有点
trust
不
and
同，
faith
就每
in
个人都
others,
有不同的一
to
些这
maintain
个
a sense
就是
of
这种轨迹啊，有沟
trust
通的这种
and
教化的这个手段。那这样
simplicity
越来越
in
这个
terms
复杂是
of
没有用的。所以我
relationship.
们以后呢，就
Otherwise,
是尤
it
其是
is
这个佛教徒呢，就是
it
希
could
望大
create
家就
lots
是应该
of
很多
unnecessary
事情
suffering
呢，
and
就是
troubles.
有意义的事情呢，你可以重视、分析、研
Yes,
究、
when
研
it
讨啊，
comes
就是
to
你的智慧
important
最好是
matters,
你
you
发挥
can
所
use
有的智慧
all
来。
your
如果
wisdom
没有意义的，
to
不是很
debate,
重
to
要的一
discuss,
些
to
细
think,
小
to
事的话呢，
contemplate.
应该是自
But
己啊，
when
就
it
是
comes to trivial
装的这
matters,
个
then
本
I
一
think
点，
it
就
is the
是就
best
显
to
得简
just
单一点。
be
就
simple.
前两天我们对，就是有一个法师也是在说嘛，就是说是
Master
人生
said
很短暂，
that
就是说简单一点，不要考虑那么多。就是
life is short.
就这种
Be
事情呢，
simple.
我觉得是
Don't
也
think
是
too
很
much.
好的。就是
I think
就
this
现
is
在有一
really
种
well
说法
said.
叫做不管什么事情去做就好了，就是去做就好了。
There's a
你
saying
要
that
有兴
whatever
趣
it
的话呢，
is,
你
just
去
do
做，
it.
就是不用这
Just do
个
it.
就很多的这种顾虑，尤
Don't
其是
think
利益
too
众生
much,
和学习佛
especially
法方
when
面
it
呢，
comes
大家
to
更要
benefiting
那个
others and
去
in terms
去
of
直接
studying
就
the
是就把
Dharma.
这个
So just do
该
it.
学的、该修的、该
Whatever you have
做
to
的
do,
事情呢，就是要
the
做下去，
study,
就这
the
样是这
practice,
个可能对你
the
来讲是最
contemplation,
有
the
意义的。
beneficial activities,
这是
and
第
so
二个
on.
方面，
Just
第
do
三
it.
个方面啊，然后
That
第
would
四
be very meaningful.
对，这第四个了，对吧
So that's the fourth
就是那么
aspect.
生命就是对这个家人、对父母、对国君、对朋友，就是
So the previous
是
ones
这
we've
样的
already
这种
talked
一种
about
这
how
个
to
信
then
任。
relate
那这
to
样
the
的话
four
呢，就是
different
随遇而
kinds
为学
of
啊，就是
people in your
无必为
or
之学
around
艺
you,
啊，
the
就是那么这样的话呢，就
family
是虽然
members,
就是
the
纵然就
parents
是没有
and
这个
the
有些说
superiors
是啊，
and
就
the
是你的
friends.
这个学问也
And
不好，
then
你学的呢就是并知识就是
for
并不是
such
很
kind of
多
people,
的，
though
但
maybe
这个
he may say
思想
that
呢，
he's
就是
not
说是
learn,
我认为呢，
he
就是
lacks
他学
learning.
的是
I
最
would surely call
最
him
好的
learned.
了啊，就是有时候我们知
Sometimes
识跟教养呢，就是
I
经
think
常就是
we
混为一体。
mix
其实有了
the
知识呢，
terms
就是
of
不一定
knowledge
是你有这个
and
教养的，而且古人的话呢，
educated.
上面的这几个呢，就是最根本的，就是
In
学的
fact,
根本。但可能我们
the
现在
roots
这个
of
教育呢，
education
并不是很重视的。我们在学校
is
里面，就
stated
是你
above
将来
in
就
this
是对自己的
teaching.
这个家人怎么对待啊，就是内在的这个这种德行很重视啊，对父母要好
When
好
it
的诚
comes
实啊，对
to
国君要
educated
如实的
people, I think
这个
as
诚
educated
实啊
ones,
然后
then
对
you
朋
should
友如何这个
relate
就
to
是信
these
赖等
different
等，就是这
members
些呢，
in the
在我
ways
们的
that's
这个知识当中
stated
可能学的
previously.
不是很
But
多的，
this
所
is
以我
not
们有
be
了知识
taught
呢，不一定有这个教
extensively in
养。
our
人呢，活
current
在这个世界
education
上，知
system.
识呢，当然也是很重要的。
Of course,
但是
knowledge
更
is
重要的
important.
是什么呢？就
But
是
what's
他
more
的这个修养，
important
他的
is
这个
that
德行。
if the
否则
person
的话呢，你光有一个
then
智慧啊，就是也许可能在别人面前呢，
educated in
就
terms
显
of
现
his
出很多错误的这
character.
种行为。
Otherwise, even if
是不
you
是
may
有
have
一个
lots of
新闻
knowledge,
就是说是
you probably
有一
would
个废妓里面就
still
是一个美女跟另外一
appear
个
to
人呢
be
就是开
very
始吵起来了嘛，就是
uneducated.
他因为这个好像是
I
拿
think I
性
read
命还
this
是什么原因，
news
然后
that
这个时候呢就是就
a
就
beautiful
另外那
woman
个人呢
was
就是对
in
这个美女就是说是啊你这个人就是
was
素质很
fighting
差
with
就是
a
你
different
这
one
个
on the
素
airplane,
质
maybe
很低
because
就是
of
这样，
getting
然后
the
他就很不
luggage
高
or
兴，就是
something,
马
some
上
trivial matter.
用这个
And then
用
these
法语
two
来开始这
women
个
started
骂他。结果那
arguing.
个美女的话呢，她也特别会，就是她也用法语来就是
And
对他
one person
然后这个
started
人呢，就是
to
用日语来开
then
始说他，然后他也会日
one
语，因为
one of
他
them
日语
started to
然后再
curse
下来过后
in
用英语，英语肯
Japanese.
定没有问题，英
And
语来互
then
相
the other
所以
person
他们两个都
responded
是是
by
这
such
个深
cursing
入
in
引导的这个
Japanese as
镜头
well.
但是这个
And then
这
that
个
person
飞
one
机里面的
started to
人呢看到
curse
就是
in
他们两个
French.
虽然
And
语言还
this
是学
beautiful
得很
woman
不错
started
的
cursing
可是
back
真的
in
这个
French
素
as
质呢两
well.
个都并不
And
这么
then
高，对吧？
both of them
所以在
started
实践当
to
中呢，就把这件事
argue
情呢
back
就
and
也是
forth
这
in
个
the
比较
English
就是大
language.
家
So
都是思
with
考
the
的一
three
个问题啊。我
languages,
们有时候
these
确
two
实可能
people
读的什么
started
这个大
arguing.
学啊、研究生
I'm
啊、
sure
博士
they're
生
very
啊、博士
knowledgeable
后啊，
of
就是一直这
language.
个
They're very
哇，就是
knowledgeable
这
in
这个
terms
毕
of
业
these,
的话，
but
就一看到
in
他的
terms
毕业
of
证啊，他
are
的这
they
种这
educated?
些的
I
话呢，
have
哇，就是应
grave
该很
I
了
have
不起。
grave
但是
doubts.
你人这个借助的时候呢，有傲
Just
慢，
as
有
there
嫉
are
妒心，
people
然
who
后
have
什么这个贪嗔
who
痴
may
负
have
面的情绪
lots
呢，就是
of
应有尽有的啊。就是工作方
high
面的话呢，就是
academic
除了这个他
achievement.
的学
However,
识渊博以外呢，
other
很多方
than
面
the
的
knowledge
是
that
可
they've
能连一般的一
accumulated,
些这个善良的人
they
的这个德
are
行都
quite
不
they
如
may
就
be
是这样
quite
的话呢，
arrogant
可能
and full of
我们这个
jealous
人呢，生存在
and
这个世
full
界
of
上呢，自
jealousy
己也不一
and
定很快乐，别人
very
呢，就是
complex
也许
and
可
really
能带来各种
difficult
不同的这
to
个
deal
麻
with,
烦，所以
not
其实像
easygoing,
论
not
语这样的这
big-hearted.
种道理的
So
话呢，
other than
确
the
实
knowledge
是
they
不管是你
accumulated,
有
there's
信仰也好，没
nothing
有信仰也好，
educated
这
about
个
them.
古人也好，现代人也好，东方人也好，西
So
方人也
the
好，都
Eastern
应该值得
Easterners,
这个学习，因为
Westerners,
这里面的有
the
些内容的
ancient
话呢，
one,
其实我
the
们
previous
这个
generation,
应
the
该
new
就是
generation.
日度以这种这个伴随着，就我们亲自
I
遇
think
到
we
这
all
些事
need
情。
to
可是我们
then
这里面的很多
differentiate
道理
and
呢
study the
就是
the
并
ancient
没有
wisdom.
就是落实到
In
这个
fact,
生活当中。
lots
也
of
许我们
people
可
they
能懂
may
得它的
have
道理，
gained
但是这些
such knowledge
关
of
键的
this
问题呢，我
text,
们没有去
but
思考，
have
因为
they
没有
then
思考的原
practiced
因呢，
this
我们
knowledge in their
在
life?
自己这
That's
个
the
身体
main
力行的
question.
时候呢，就是并没有就是去
We should
去
practice
使
this
用到
rather
就是这
than
个生
only
就是日常生活
accumulate
当
the
中来
knowledge of
所以
it.
我想这个我们作为一个有一些佛教徒的话，那就是有时
Some
候
Buddhists
佛教的。这种教理上倒是这个非常多的。
I
我为
think
什么这
they
次呢
are
要讲的时
really
候呢，主
good
要是跟
at
这
the
个
doctrines
夏目
of
峰
the
仁波切、
teaching
萨迦曼哲
of
达，
the
还
Dharma.
有那个工汤仁波、工汤
In
范
fact,
都那样，
this
就是他们
time
的一
I
些
wanted
珍
to
贵的
give
这个教
teaching
言呢，
on
就是结
this
合在一起
is
跟大家
because I
讲。
want
这样的
to
话呢，可能
then
大家也应该知道，其
give
实这
the
个佛教
teaching
的这
on the
种内容的话
Analects
呢，在
along with Mipo Rinpoche's and
人
Gujum
贵方面的话呢，就是完全的
Rinpoche's
是可以
and
这个跟我们
many
这个
other
现在的这个文化是
Buddhist
这个
masters
就
teaching in
可以
terms of
结
how
合
to
在
be
一
a
起的，而
person,
且这个
how
也是
to
是很
relate
需
to
要的。我
others
想大家
all
要懂得
together.
这个
And
道
when
理
I
的
can
话呢，
give
就是也
this
许可能
all
很
together,
重要
I
的
hope that it could
所以你
bring
们
you
从一些佛法方面来
great
这个了解
benefits in terms
这个
of
论语的话呢，我
relating
看那个
to
欧义
other
大师啊
people.
就是他也是有时候
According to
以
Master
这个
Oyi,
佛法方面来就是讲，
sometimes
但是他有时候
he
讲的有点比如说
explains
这
in
个
his
显现
commentary
意思的
from a
话呢，就是
Buddhist
他
aspect.
说是无有人相，无有我相，就是
Sometimes he explains it in a very profound way. Sometimes he talks about it. There's no characteristic of the self of other of things like that. I think this is too high of realization or too high of a level of explaining this the analects. But of course, you can then explain it from different aspects, different perspectives. And maybe that would be helpful to you. That's very possible too. Now the eighth chapter. The eighth chapter then is Confucius. The previous one was the one by disciple. Now it's Confucius. So the master said, if a man of position, that is Junzi,
就是他这里第八章里面也有不同的这个内容，就是首先第一个呢。
does not have integrity, he will not inspire all, and when he tries to learn, he will not preserve to the end. Such a man should stay close to those who do their best and are trustworthy. He should not befriend those who are not his equals, and when he makes a mistake, he should not be afraid to correct it. So if a person doesn't have integrity, in fact, over here, the integrity in the Chinese language, it also means the steadiness. Doesn't have a sense of authoritativeness. There are people nowadays who do not receive any kind of respect from others, and from certain aspect, it could be that the person doesn't have a sense of steadiness. It is repeated sayingly that a junzi is you could explain it as a person of or a man of a position, or you could say that someone of integrity or someone or a gentleman. There are different ways of explaining it. For such kind of person who, for such kind of person, they should maintain a certain kind of steadfastness. As Mipa Rinpoche said, that a person should then maintain steadfast in terms of the body, and in terms of speech, a person should have a speech just as a sage, because a sage wouldn't speak. Would not make frivolous speech. Therefore, their language is very much respected and taken seriously.
然后翻过来说，就二规教育论当中不是讲的嘛，就是什么
According to the two conducts. It says that those who are not steady in body will be bullied like the yak with broken horns. If a person doesn't have a sense of steadiness in terms of their bodies, in terms of their action, maybe one day that person is here today and then the other place a different day, and scratch around even during sitting. Then such kind of actions shows frivolousness and is not taken seriously most of the time. You can in fact definitely tell if a person is steady or not. Just as a yak without horns, and then all the other yaks would then bully the one who does not have a yak. I think Mipa Rinpoche is probably also a herder. That's why he used lots of this kind of herding metaphors. But maybe Confucius is rather a farmer, and he used lots of farming metaphors. The first one then talks about the body aspect of then the second one talks about the language aspect. Those who are not solemn in speech will be resented and criticized by others, like the scavenging crow. There are people who talk too much. They would speak of ill of others and talk about their afflictions, and they can't stop talking. They don't have the ability of being mindful of their own speech. They would continuously speak, just like a scavenging crow, which makes lots of people feeling annoyed, because the crows would make the kind of sound that is not pleasant to hear, and it's a sign of unlucky
就是心情若不稳重，这如风吹也飘
Then the
无力，
next
是吧？
one talks
啊，
about
就
the
是
steady
如果我们这个
character.
心就是
Those
一
who
点
are
都
not
不了
of
这
steady
个
character
稳
will
重
be
啊，就
lost
是
like leaves
什么
carried
这个
off
胡
by
思
the
乱想
wind.
啊，东想西想啊，
There are
就
people
是
who
心
think
特
of
别
this,
飘
think
的话
of
呢，
that,
那身体也会飘，
and
就
their
像落
mind
叶
goes
就是被水
here
冲
and
被水
there.
冲啊。
If
其
their
其实
mind
心
is
很重
like
要的，如
that,
果
then
心就
their
是一
body
变
and
得
speech will
没有这
also
种
be
这个稳重的能力，
influenced.
就是特别浮
If
躁
the
啊，特
mind
别轻
doesn't
佻啊，
have
就
this
这样的
kind
话
of
呢，就是那可能
steadiness,
今天是这个道场，明天是那个
but
道
goes
场，然后
along
今
with
天
the
就是
different
这个家
thoughts,
里，明天在那
then
个家里，
such
就是因
kind
为
of
他的这个
thinking
心
would
情
lead
的
them
这个
to
原因，
different
或
kind
者
of
说是一会儿开心，一会儿
places
痛
in
苦，
terms
一
of
会
their
儿就是
body.
要修行闭关，一会儿呢
Maybe
就
they want to go
是
to
要这
this
个
place
去这
today
样，
and go
就
to
是
a
因为我
different
们有
place
些人心
tomorrow.
意就是
They
就是
want to
没办法
practice
淡定，
one
没办法淡
today,
定的时候呢，
practice
心里也是特
two
别的这
on
种
the
糟糕。
different day,
这个从这个
maybe
佛教
be
经验
happy
来讲呢，
today
我
and
们
not
身可
very
以不庄
happy
重的话
on
呢，
the second
就是没
day.
有威严，
So
没有威严的话呢，就
if
是
a
人们
person
呢就是
doesn't
不会
have a
把他当做一种
steadiness,
这个重要的人。
doesn't
所以
have
说
such
这
steadiness,
个
then other people
就
won't
像那个
take
古
such
达
kind
的
of
说的一
people
样的，就是其
seriously.
实一个真
Just
正的
as
君主
great
的话呢，
masters
就像这
stated,
个国王呢，
a
就是不离
true
这个他的宝座一样，
leader
就是人的这
would
个
not
司仪呢，
depart
就是一定
from
要
his
要
or
庄
her
重威严，
throne.
就是这个很重要的。
Rather,
其实做人
he or
很
she
多都
would
是
then abide on his
一般
own
就是
on
就
the
是人
on
人
one's own
这
throne
个
with
跟
great
旁边的人呢，
steadiness.
就是都是我以前讲过吧，就是我们表面上看呢，就是不管是好人坏人怎么样的，但是
think I
你身边的
told
人
you
呢，
this
都像
before.
警察一样的，就是经常观察你的言
In
言
fact,
行举止啊，你是应该是这样的人，看你的
the
眼神
people
你
around
是可能
you,
很假
they're
的人，
like
我看你的语言呢，你是可能特别
the
善良的
they're
人，看你的
very
这个
keen
做法
in
呢，就是
terms
你是应该
of
是非常有利他性的
observing
人
you
啊，就是你这个
through
人是
your
可能
own speech and
这样
mind,
那样，
through
就
your
是有很多人
speech
都
and
会这样
mind,
的，就所以有
through
些
your
是可能猜
body
猜错
speech
的，
and
就
mind,
各
other
种
people
这种
be
评价也
very
有，但是
easily
大多数
to
呢，
tell
在这
whether
个
you
人
are a
世间当
person
中
of
也
a
会就
beneficial
是猜
mind
得
or
出的。
kind
所以
heart
我们
or
这个
very
君
sly.
子呢，
They
就
can
是
tell
如果
very
不
easily,
庄重
just
啊，
like
就是
how
那
a
么这个
police
色呢，就
is
是不威严，
easily
就不
could
过
easily
其实
tell
我觉
if
得这
the
些呢，就是
other
我们每天
people
的
are
这个
good
《论语》的课里
or
面呢，就是
bad.
有个别的这个词句呢，就是大家能
Some
背
of
下
the
来的话呢，也
teachings
是
I
很好。你
think
看佛教
is
里面，我们二
really
位教人里面
worthy
上是
of
那么重视的僧会仪的
reciting
庄重呢。
in the
孔子也是
analects.
早在2000多年前也是这样的，基本
Mipa
上是
Rinpoche's
不谋
teaching
而合，
about the
就是
steadiness
而
about
且这
body,
里
mind,
的
and speech
这个
is
词
taught
句呢，
about
就是也是
2,000 years
很
ago by
很这个现
Confucius.
代，就
So
是对吧？
the
就是
wise ones,
然后
they
这个学者
notice
不古
and
啊，
they
就是有些
have
是跟
such
前面
kind
结
of
合在一起，但我觉得是这
observation
个分开
and
讲可能好一
teaching.
点。
The next
然后
one then
这个
talks
学习以后
about
呢，就是我们这个学了
the
知识以后的话，那就是在他的这个心
learning
就是不会那么顽固啊。
when he
就是
tries to learn,
因为
he will not preserve
不
to
管是
the
世间的
end.
知识也
If
好，
a
出世间的
person
知识啊，如果你没有学的话，那你
studies
可能不懂这个规矩，不懂道理。
or if a
然后你
person
的这个
doesn't
心性
study,
呢，就是有时
let it be
特别的
worldly
什么这个
knowledge
顽固
or
化，
the
就是什么有一
transmundane
种
knowledge
这
or
个
dharmic
特别的
knowledge,
那种这个
then
孤
this
陋啊，就是或者说
person
是
would be
就那种
blinded
就是
by their ignorance.
就顽强啊，就是顽固啊，
And
就是
they could
谁
be
也就是
very
说了也是没
stubborn
办法，因为有些认为是这是
to
个性，
their
其
own
实也不是个
opinion
性，就是一
and
种愚痴
whatever,
就
and however other
有些人
people
是
try to
自己
convince
想什
them
么我就是
with
这样
the
的
words
人
of
就是
truth, and
其
they
实
would
你
not
就是这
listen.
样的人的话，那就是可能
It is
熟悉
not
的
that
人就是
they're
不一
not-
定跟你说什么，但是
It is
有
not
智慧的人应
that
该看到
such
哦
kind
你
of
就是这样的话，那
stubbornness
就是
is
你就
their
是这样的，你本你就是这
personality.
样的杠
In
匠，
fact,
你就是
it
这
is
样的，
because of
就是
lack
难
of
以超
knowledge
乎
and
的
lack
人。
of
但是
learning.
如果你
You
学了以
cannot
后
say
呢，完
that
全不
I
同。
am
我们
just
知道有
stubborn,
些
this
人
is
是
my
有世界
personality.
的一些这
That's
个
not
学了
true.
知识啊，
In
就
fact,
读
there are
完
the
卷祖
people
听完
who
逆罗，就是
studied
读了一定的书
many
的这些人
books,
呢，就是他的这
many
个修养啊、人
volumes
格
of
就
books, books, and there are people who then traveled for a long distance and meet a lot of people. Then such kind of people will gain different knowledge and become much more flexible. I noticed that there are people who study the Dharma, and people have upon studying the Dharma, they really transform. Their actions are very much different than the ones who have never studied the Dharma. I'm not saying that people can practice 100% of what they studied, but at least studying and not studying definitely makes a difference to the mentality, to the character. There are people who, after studying their mentality and their body,
就
mind, and
看看
speech
这个
definitely get
挑不挑不烦恼
much
然后
more
吃的好不好呢？看这个面色啊，就是这现在有时候看不出来，就是吃的不太好的人也是
As
化
Mi
妆以后
Parmbuche
就
said
就好像
that there are
就以
people
前可能藏地
people
人就是可能
you can tell if
不是这样
if
吧，
a
就是所
person
以说
is a
我们这
practitioner
个
by
到底
his
是学美
speech,
容，
body
我还是很
speech,
希望就是我
and
们
you
很多
can
人
tell
真的
if
是
a
学了以后
person
呢，
is
性格不要那么粗糙，就
is
是
fed
就
by
跟接触
the
这个大概
look
是1个小时、
on
半
his
个小
face
时的
or
话，那
the
就是
color
特别
of
粗糙的，
his
就是
cheeks.
说话也好，做事也好，特别粗
People
鲁，
without
就是
studying
野
the
蛮，
Dharma,
就是
they
武
are very
断，就是粗鲁
coarse.
这样子很不
They
好
are very
的。
stubborn
就
and
说
coarse.
说一会儿的啥，说这个过是那个缺点啊，这个世界上除了好像自己是很了不起的，除此之外就是
They
就
only
全部
feel
的
that
就
they
是已经这个
themselves
评价
are
完
the
了。
greatest,
这样的话呢
but they
那
feel
我们这个
other
大乘佛
none
教就是
of
什么
the
怎
others
么讲
could
啊
be
就是就很难
comparable
这
to
个
them.
说的，所以自己相续是就像那个华
So,
顿仁波切这样的一
according
样的，
to
就是
Patrul Rinpoche,
就学到一定和修到一定的
he
时候
said
呢
that for
就
those
像是
people who
什么
practice
像
and
棉花
study
一
for a
样这个
while,
跳
then
入啊，就
their
棉花一样
mind
跳入
and
还有呢
their
什么
personalities
那
as
个
soft and
什
as
么稀饭
gentle
里面放素
as
油是吧？
cotton, and
就
they're
是吧
easygoing as the butter
饭里
that
面
is
放素油什么
melted
样？
in the porridge.
啊，好吃是吧？
What is the butter in porridge? They're very tasty, really yummy, huh?
啊，那你比喻用的还可以。
I like your metaphor.
如果华智仁波切
I think
听到了，
Patrul
他很伤
Rinpoche
心。
Heard your explanation of his metaphor, he probably would feel very heartbroken because that's not what he meant at all.
幸好华智仁波切已经圆寂了，不然
Lucky him who
对吧？
already
如
passed
果
away, he doesn't have
这
to
个
then
谁老
listen
法
to
以后
your
呢，就是确实
explanation
是比
anymore.
较这个跳入啊，就我希
So,
望我们这个有时候可能
upon
人自己也
studying
会
this,
烦恼，就是说别人的过失啊这样的。
Lots of
但一般来讲，
upon
我
studying
们
the
这个
Dharma, lots of people's
就是这些学
mind
佛的人
definitely
啊，就不
transforms
学佛的人也好，就
to
经
be
常
much
借
more
助一回，有
pliable.
些人是就真的是跟他交流5分钟的话，都是特别的这种粗糙
I
啊，
know
就
that
是就
there
全是
are
讲
the
那个别
ones
人的过
who
失啊，就是
then you
就
can't even
5分
talk
钟
to
的
them for
就
5 minutes
跟他说的
without
样
them
那
talking
样
about
那样
other
就
people's
没有必要，就是我们
missed
还是应该
faults.
自己要
I
多
think
观
that's
察
really
自己，然后
unnecessary because we need
就
to
多学
really
一
look
下，
into
就是这
our
样的话呢
own
应该就是
mind
这个
rather than
学
other
则不
people.
啊，就这句
We
话
should
我
look
觉得
at
很
ourselves
重要的，
rather
有
than
一
other
定的这种
people.
学识的人呢，他还是不会这个顽固的，不会那么这个刚强野蛮的，就是应该
But
是
for
自
people
相
who
续是
study the
非常
Dharma,
的这
I'm
个
sure
跳入啊，
they're
激进
not
啊，就是
that
有些
coarse
高僧大
anymore.
德，
They're
我昨天
more
都是
pliable
很
than
伤
the
心，
ones
就是
who
我
do
这
not.
个上师们都纷纷的圆寂。我后来
Yesterday,
路上
in
也在
fact,
想
I felt
其实
really
我这个
sad.
以
I was
前
really
的德
saddened
国法的
because
这些每一个上师呢
my
确
teachers
实是非常好的，
have
就是
all
不管
passed
是从
away.
人格
All,
上也
all
好，
the
对
teachers
佛法的
who
心性也好，
whom taught
凡是
you,
他们都
whom
有利
taught
他
me
心，就是除
before,
了利
they
他心以
have
外，没有这
one
种丝
common
毫的这种害
characteristic,
别
and
人的
that
这
is
种
that
心，
they
而且他
have
利他
only
心
the
的话呢，
mind
就是
of
他就不
benefiting
断地
others,
给别人
and
这
they
个
have
灌
no
输啊，
malicious
就是
mind
一
at
直不是
all
一次
towards
两次，不是
anyone.
一天两
And
天的，
it
一
is
直是
not
他
only
的
for
所
one
有
day
的这
or
个众
2
生啊，就
days.
像一
In
灯
fact,
油的话，
they
那就是
have this
全部
mind
都
of
是为众
benefiting
生而这
others
个
towards
就是燃烧的，就是就全部都
for all
这
sentient
这个
beings
一生
every
全部是
single day, and
为
they
众生，而且
dedicated
他们
their
像
whole
当中
life
特别
towards
的
all
一些
sentient
珍
beings.
贵的这种教言呐，就是
And the
就传
precious
入给我们。
teachings
如果没有
that
他们的话呢，
they
我们可能还
inherent
是就是
in their
特别
mind
的可怜，
stream
就是还是沉溺
have
在
then
轮回当中
generously
就是感
shared
受无量的这
to
种
all
这个
of
痛苦
us.
啊。就因为他们的原因呢，就是我们
And
不
it
敢
is
说是我们
because
自
of
己有个
them
很大的成就，但是呢，确确实实
Though
以
we're
这
not
个跟其他人
fully
这种不同的
accomplished,
有一些
but
把
we
握的兄
definitely
弟
have
成就。
already
所以
received
昨
such
天就
blessings
是
and
就可以
wisdom
可
from
以说
them.
吧，就是我们这个报信论的后面一段的话呢，就一直
Yesterday,
就是想到了很多的这个
I think
以前
during
就
the
是
second
主
half
要
of
的
the
这
teaching
个
of
就是
Uttara
上
Tantra
师，还
Shastra,
有一
I
些德国法
really
本的这个所
remembered
有的上师，
the
其实这些上师呢，每一个都有
lamas,
自己不同的这
the
个
teachers that I studied from, and their teachings, their demeanors, their methods of teaching their students are different, but their mind are the same. Their mind are only for benefiting others, but not malicious to others. And upon contemplating all of their qualities, I definitely felt that I need to progress further. So, all the great masters from the past, I think we should look up to them, and we should strive to be as close as we can to them. As I said, that Pongtsog Rinpoche studied for 6 years, and he received the full blessings and knowledge from his Lama in this short 6 years. And look at us, and there are people who then went to, for example, Harvard and different prestigious universities, and they would receive certificates marked by the university. Similarly, the knowledge that we receive from our teachers, then we should have this characteristics or personalities that is of our masters. We should not point at them saying that, oh, this is wrong, that is wrong. That's not what we should do. Then the next one says, such a man should stay close to those who do their best and are trustworthy. So one should remain loyal, should remain trustworthy. And some of the commentaries stated that this sentence and the next one should be combined, and some said that it should be separated. And then the next one says that he should not befriend those who are not his equals. Some explanations or commentaries said that you should not befriend the ones who are less than you. I think this kind of explanation is rather partial, because you can only have the ones who are higher of you. I don't think that's very possible. But I think the best way of explaining it is rather do not take the ones, the kind of friends are less of you. You should. Sometimes from the appearance, from the surface, maybe they are not as good as you in terms of maybe their looks and maybe their academic achievements or maybe their knowledge and different aspects. But I think we should then look at others in the way that we should try to see their advantages, because there are there are the rulers that the short rulers cannot measure, and there are the concise measurements that the long ruler can't measure. So there are some people have different advantages. You should try your best to study from others. Even if it's for a person who is not necessarily your best friend, but you should at least try from different aspects to see the other person's
就是你完全可以就是改正过来。
good
我原来
points.
认为是这个是很难的。
Maybe
然后
previously you feel that one person is really bad, but later on you may feel that the other person, you slowly could discover that person's advantage or the other person's good points.
实际上呢，就是那么就是这个
So basically, you just need to change your perspective, and slowly and slowly, you'll be able to discover that everyone could be your friends, and everyone, you can learn from everyone, and you can get knowledge from everyone, just as from stated in the stated by Sakya Pandita in his text, that is the treasury of good advice, saying that although the wise have immeasurable learning, they still embrace the lesser knowledge of others. By means of continuously practicing this, they quickly proceed to omniscience. I think this is quite necessary. To be humble, to listen to other people's teaching, to listen to other people's ideas and perspectives. So being humble, in fact, it could give you lots of opportunities to study and learn and gain lots of knowledge. Therefore, try not to be so arrogant. And then it is stated that, and when he makes a mistake, you should not be afraid to correct it. When people make mistakes, do not feel afraid. You should then be courageous and try to correct your mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Especially for mundane beings, we definitely make mistakes. But do not hide your mistake. Just as it is said in the long discourse of the sutra, it says that if one possesses any precious qualities, one should hide or hold them back. If one has any faults, one shall openly confess them all. When you have some kind of precious qualities such as your wisdom, your wealth, your academic achievements, any small precious qualities that you have, do not try to show them off. Rather, you should be humble. Maybe by seeing your own deity or if that you maybe started saying that, oh, this famous person is really good to me, such as a person would brag about how his manager is very nice to him, though it is not the truth. Sometimes I would listen with a smile, but not making any comments. Because sometimes there are people who really want to brag. Try not to do that. What you should then is to confess your faults and expose your faults to others rather than brag about your precious qualities.
改正，就是大般涅槃经里面也讲，知责于二，疑者呢就是不造作恶。
According to the Great Parinirvana Sutra, the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, it says that of the wise there are the two kinds. One is the person who does not do evil, and the other is the person who repents after having committed evil. So, the two kinds of people, one is the kind of person who have never or had never made any mistakes, very pure in terms of their actions and speech and mind. And the other one is even after making mistakes, they are brave enough to repent.
予以罪恶呢，就是
The ones who makes
不
mistakes
住
in the
痛饮
morning,
啊，就是不住
they
过夜，
can
就
then
是这样的
repent in
这
the
个
afternoon
就
or
是说
evening.
如果我们早上犯了
And
错
the
误的话呢，
ones
就是不
who
过就是。
makes
不到下午
mistake
就是
in the
最好上午
afternoon.
发现的时候马上要忏
Oh,
悔。
the
然后
ones
如果
who
你
makes
下
a
午
mistake
就是
in the
造了
morning,
一
you
些
should
罪的
then
话呢，
repent
最好是
before
晚上睡
afternoon.
觉
And
之
the
前
ones
就是凡是这个
who makes
罪呢，
mistakes
就
in
是
the
从来
afternoon,
都
you
是
should
不过夜，这个
repent
很重
before
要。比如
evening
说，我
so
们
that
两
the
个金刚
mistakes
道友之
would
间就是
not
有一些这个
then
口角啊，或者是发生一些矛盾的话呢，尽量的就是
who
不
would
过夜，
not
就是互相这个
let
忏悔
it
啊，
go
就一直是在
overnight.
这个心里面
Just as
沉着
some
的话呢，其实
Vajra
这个罪是越来越
friends
就是严重。我
or
们
the
学过那
Vajra
个三
Sangha
界论呐，就是
should
三界论里面
not
的，尤
have
其是密宗的这些罪业
fights
的话呢，
and
它就不断的
not
这个增长，不
repent
断的
at
增长。
all.
人过了这个
Because
这
the
个1
such
年、2年、3年以后的话呢，就是在忏悔也是没
mistakes
办法，几生
would
当中没
then
办法忏悔的
accumulate.
啊，就是落什么的那些么中，该对忙呢你该走。过了3年呢，就是无法
After
忏。
3
如果
years,
忏的
if
话
you
呢
do not
儿子都会还。哎，就不是这样的嘛，所以我们
It is
有些有
stated
智慧
in
的人
the
呢，就是他会犯错误以后，
three
马上会忏悔的啊，马上会忏悔的。但是性格
three
不好的，就
vows
是那种人的话呢，
that you
就是不
should
要说过夜，
repent.
就是过1个月、过2个月、过3个月的话呢，对他来讲无所谓。
You
所以
you
我
should
希望我们
repent
这个
before 3
尤其是
years
学
or
密法
within
的
3
人也
years,
好，
especially
还
for
有
the
那
Vajra
个
Sangha.
就是
Do not let
金
it
刚道友之间
pass
的话呢，
over
就是最好不要过
a
夜。
week,
法
a
王如意
month,
宝以前那
or
个
a
在学
year,
院当
and
中
so
有
on.
什么样的
So
规
do
定呢？
not
凡是
procrastinate.
就互相不说话的这些人呢，就在学院里面不能常住啊，就是不能。
Pansuk
不
Rinpoche's
能常住。所以
requirement
我们
is
这
that
个
the
道友
the
当
kind
中
of
也是
people
互
who
相
do
有
not
矛
talk
盾的，
to
就是
one
如果
another should
不说
not
话，就是
stay in
那这样的
Larangar.
话呢，就没有必要。
They
就
do
是
not
住在
have
这样的
such
这个清净的
privilege
道
to
场当中
stay
更何况
in
说是
this
什么
pure
处
and
密法管理
undefiled
呢？那这些都是更没有什么可
center.
说的，就是你连道友之间的基本的这种关系都
If
就没
one
办法
cannot
这个
get
树立的话
along
呢，
with the
那
Sangha
不是这个
member,
密法的
then
法器，就是这一
the
点呢，
person
就
is
是应该
not
大家
considered
也应该
as
应
a
该某些
Vajra
方面是应
Sangha,
该
is
知道
not
这个重视
qualified to
否则的话呢，
receive
好像
the
金刚道友之间呢，就是根本
empowerments.
不当做这个人，就是互相呢就是悔恨在，甚至非常这个恨之入骨啊，就是
There are
就
the
那这样的
Sangha,
话呢，就是那种这
the
个道
Vajra
友呢，
Sanghas
就是没有必要，就是住在这个
who
尤其是像
hold
学院这样的这个亲近的
grudge
道场
towards
当
one
中也
another
没有必要。我们的这个佛教的这种
and
团体当
view
中呢
each other
我们也
as
不建议啊，
enemies.
就是
And
互
for
相都
this
是
kind
一
of
直
people,
敌
I
对
really
的，
feel
互
that
相都
they
是就是
should not
当面
stay
也好，背后
in
也好，
this
一直在非常的这
in
种
this
恨，就是
in
然后一
our
直不断的就是这种斗争，
practice
就这种人的话呢，最好
place
是你们都不
in
要
our
这个
center.
参
And
加
for
我们
this
的这个佛教的
kind of
群体当
people,
中，因
I
为这个
really
世
hope
界是
that you
很
should
广大的，
not
除了我
stay
们的
over
这些
here
小小
because
群体以
this
外。
world is
都
rather
有
very
啊，
big.
就是因为金刚道
Other
友之
than
间的
our
实验
small
是很
community, there
严厉
are
的，就是金刚
much
道友
bigger
和
space
四度之间也
outside
好，
where
这些实
you
验就
can
是
have
不
all
受
the
的话呢，
hatred
就是对大
and
家都是有非
a
常大的
sense
这个
of
损害啊，就是确实有
grudge
很大的这个损害，因为这个实验的这种晦
wherever
气
you
啊，
want.
实验的晦气，我们这
Because
个
once you make
金
a
刚名称界
defilement
当
of
中
the
的话呢，就是
vows,
最主要的是金刚道友之间和金刚上师之间的这种关系
then
啊
it，would
如果这个
pollute
弄不好的话，那我觉得是可能没有
the
什么意义
whole
的，学佛
Sangha.
也没有什么意义的。所以我
So
希
for
望我们
those of
这个
you
金刚道友的话，今生当
have
中你
such
弘法利生实在是
grudge,
做不到，不要
who
紧
have
的。
such
但法王如意宝的
kind
最后
of
的
a hatred
一个
towards
教
one
言
another
就
should
莫
not
舍弃
stay
的
here.
勿扰他心，就是这一点
In
呢，
fact,
应
to
该
me,
就是
I
尽量
think
的这个
even
朗
if
诵。
those
如
of
果
you
实在
who
自
do
己
not
的
have the
业力
ability
现
to
前、烦恼
benefit
现前，
others,
实在没有办法的话呢，也不过夜的忏悔，对吧？就是
You
不过
should,
夜忏悔，就是这个是阿底峡尊者。
try to
这个教言呢，
maintain
就是我
a
倒是
pure
这个
vow.
发在藏微博上，就也
At
是你
least
们
you
这
should,
个好好的
even
想
if
一想，就
you
是阿底峡
have
尊者
this
是
kind
在
of
什么
grudge
时候
or this
哪
kind
怕
of
是
anger
产生
towards
一个
one
恶念
another,
的时候，马
you
上就
should
就
try
下
to
来就是用
confess as soon as
那个
possible
玛
and
刹
do
拉，
not
就是用这个来忏悔。我们都可能
and do
虽然
not let it
不
go
能做到
overnight.
这样，但是我们也可以改。
Patu
我们的
Rinpoche
这个
would use
虽
a
然
small
有一种
wooden mandala to confess all of his little misdeeds. But I know that as Mandarinese we won't be able to do that right away, but at least you should try your best to confess. There are people who said that it is my personality, therefore I cannot change my personality. But the Dharma has this ability, has such power to then correct you, to make changes in your mind stream. If there are hunters and murderers who can become great masters in in Buddhism or because of Buddhist teachings, then why can't you? Our life is short. And in this short life, if you don't practice, not only you do not practice, you purposely try to create harm and disharmony inside a pure Sangha. This is quite unfortunate because karma is unfailing. Therefore, you should be very careful with it. If you do not be very careful with all of these kind of vows, you will definitely bring harm to yourself and others and the Sangha. So, anger should be repentant, especially the kind of anger that you have towards one another. If you have grave anger, then that you cannot resolve and do not repent, then I suggest you to just leave the Sangha. Because by having such anger and complaining to one another, you really create lots of chaos and lots of difficulty to manage the Sangha. Sometimes I feel that lots of people who do not have, who don't even have faith, have a much better or more pliable personality than the practitioners. So for practitioners, the more you practice, the more anger you have within you. It is not really helpful, isn't it? I think next chapter is in fact very important, and I don't want to delay it to next class, but I think maybe I'll give the teaching next class. Next class will be wonderful. The next chapter is really going to be wonderful, very interesting. But today we've already extended too much of our class, so maybe next class I will give teaching on that one. For Buddhists who already taken the Pratika vows and the Bodhisattva vows and Samaya vows, after taking up such vows, I think you must have already made some mistakes that violates any or all of those vows. But at least what you should do is to confess. It's very difficult to be the ones who have never ever made mistakes, but since you've already, you should try to communicate with one another. You should confess, not only confess in your own mind, you should then try to communicate with one another. In fact, you do not have any deep anger towards one another. So you should try to communicate and make sure that you do not hold grudge towards one another. And in such a way, the protectors would protect us and would create more auspicious dependent origination. Therefore, for the Vajrasangha, as Phuntsok Rinpoche said, the most important is to maintain a pure vow, to practice, to contemplate, and to benefit sentient beings. And that's really the most important aspect of the core of our Sangha. So you should then first keep the pure vow, and the second one is to study, contemplate, and practice. And then with such contemplation, study, contemplation, and practice, you can then benefit others. This is the system or the step-by-step guide that's given by Phuntsok Rinpoche through his Vajra words. So lay practitioners have the lay practitioners' vows, and the monastics have monastics' vows. And without keeping the vow, then you won't be able to, without keeping the pure vow, you won't be able to study and contemplate and practice, and don't even mention about benefiting others. So, for those of you who want to stay in this group, then I really think that it's quite essential for you to reconcile with one another and maintain pure vow with one another. Do not hold a grudge with one another. I think today I am being rather quite strict. I'm not really pointing to any particular one of you, but this is a general guideline that we should all abide. I think everyone should look inside yourself. I myself also reflect upon myself very often. Previously, we studied that I reflect upon myself 3 times a day. So we then also should reflect upon ourselves with the right mindfulness. This is quite crucial, and we'll stop here today.
Sonam dui tamche zubanya tomna nibe jana panshe stirga nanje ranhon cheba cheba tsone
namda shobjayam jitin dagna kamjigam chadbarajer kanyam abshana de taram niravaram samzo shanchabaram barasanjivshan shobjaga le janam chanyala pa de dagaja chireyonsa dagparajer shanchapashangwa chonshag jaravatan sanji tijirabda kamvarasho shobji simchana kanam chanyala pa de dagatagda nameda devarajer doa kanje chuje to namanam dambaram charjarewa amdaparasho shanchapab shurpa tagna dagapshura jam doa kanda jewa dambarajer saraba kandam champur jewa nam tagdab dagna rabdam jorasho jarwa kanje jinsam hobjarate zambu shurpa yonsa zobshile jam Saratamam Jodapa, Jamilion Tagapa, Tagata, Manyam, Jamila Chuparasho. Haye Gata, Latan of Janakala, Talavama Tagata, Maye Kanham Dam, Do I can jada Naman Chatambar, Tamchadakata, Daki Chuftanando. Tesha Paralashanar of Zunadev, Shanchibusim, Namayam Jidma Jira, Digba Ganamada Parakirpata, Tetagamali, also of Shambarasho. Litam Yolamom Delegate Namalim, Tolojan Jitinendo, Anam Sayan, Chatara Padamochi, Chakpabshan, Yala Nam Karatopa, Metarapshed, Jangam Chundam Shonam and Chatsam Barang and Son Dung Alarapta, Javarab Shilib, Dewa Takalam, Doa Kam Gorajan, Doa Tam Jadalana, Pambarabshed, Shanchapab Shurbayon, Sub Shilijan, Simjana Dakab Shodam Tambanji. Zambo Shurpa Taganarab to Naja, Maom Karapa Kandab Shurparabjer, Dakab Shuratan Sombarakam Shurapa, De Tagatan, Tagatam, Jogbarasho. Yaganamatan Simji Jam, Shurpa Tagatam, Ola Mashit Shell, Dagla Pamberim Dolpo, Jogbo, Tagab, Zambo, Shurparab, Tumbanam, De Tagatan, Tagata, Chaperasho, De Tagadaki, Namaya, Yelmarion, Sanjim, Jim, Kurvim, Gombo, Namam, Gomsam, Tagatab, the game, Jeravata, Maam Karapak and the Macho, De Tagalayam, Shurpa, Jachirabje. Jaravanam Jotam Buchum Zanajam, Shan Chip should have back and then over if she lives on Bob should have pan and better Jawaya. My own carapac and the Chilipur. Stelpat him Chilatayam Koruanam, Sunamayashi, Taganam, Zalavni, Taptanga Shira, Batam Zanam Tarata, Yondan and Kanjima Zalam Zotter, the Chitana, some Jim Chapas Hardinam, Sardi, Winam, Shipala, Shanjabib, Shelabab, Jump Tavarib, Tetaramani, Tamchilla Shosaya, Jadzam and Chula, the Saman Salin, Sardi, Jamso, Janam, Jamso, Karapa, Jamsuru, Jujar, Temji, Sonchi, and Laga Jamsu, Decalaji, Jalawak, and Laganam Tagabam, Doak, and James, some batch of Janaya, Sardi, Sonla, Tagatam, Jupiter. There's some Sharpa, Jarva, Tamcha, Takam, Korlo, and Saranamaratam, Korwaye, Tetakaya, Soya, Mavzala, Bloy, Tobjib, Dakajan, Raptamji. Maam Karapatam Chilim Jiperia, Kachi, Chikim, Dakajam, Jiperja, Kayam, Karapat, Zaman Salita, Kachi, Chashi, Jina, Jipershil. There's some of Sharpa, Maya, Sangeka, Tetaka, Kachi, Chilab, the Cape Tar, Tata, Tetaka, Namsho Yada, Jamara, Jerpanam, Taratok Chimji. Kaya, Tisamataka, Sham Kolapa, Tetaka, Tarchi, the Wombara, Tetara, my name, Shona. Tamchada, Jarava, Taka, Janama, Kolamji, Kaya, Mapshin and Jitin and Durmanam, Shanchaberam, Beram, Sanjam, Korodom, Korum, Yang and Deepa, Rapta, Jam Taraton, Gombo, Kanji, Tonda, Dakamsha, Kandam, Yervim, Zunjulaton, Namada, Kani, Goya, Takapa, Top Takata, Kanda, Yondan of Shuraput, Namada. Chapa Jamba Takatu Kanim Gimim Sunamatub Dagadam Chapami Paratirpa Yashito Shera Bataptan Tamson of Dagaki Shanjabutun Namayan Dagada Perushed Legend Namayon Takshidam Yomotun Namakandam Jumperushed the Jetun Namato Miller Abshidam Zambo Shurputun of Zoperj Janama Jamzo number Tapshidam Simchana Jamso Tagana number Chunama Jamso Raptum Tomshidjam, Yeshi Jamso Rapta Topershid, Shulpa Jamso number at Shidjam, Molama Jamso Yonsa Zopershid, Sardi Jamso Raptum Chupshidjam, Karapa Jamsurum Chu Jadaperj, Kaya takes some sharpa Jaravaya, Shanchip Molama Shita, Naman Zambo Jubib, Shanchip Sardi, taken up the game, I leave Zoperj, Jarava Ganjeti. Ba Ganga Mana Kandab Zamjib Sham, Kiba de Dam Somper Japur, Gavan the Tagatam Chataraptam, Litanga Yirjanam Dagajam, Shurpanam Dagajanam, Mayon Dagabab, Noab Zambum, Kipam Chimdawa, Timder Dagajan de Dam Sompersho, Kanegi Wab Zambu Jelbub Sharam, Jam Holodina, Molam Jelbub, Mamam Karapak and the Majovar, Tib Shava Mali. Zoparabje, Chorpatagna, Sayuda Macherji, Yundanam Johns have Zong made Parasho, Chopats and Milipalan in Jan, Tetagam Charpatam Jalam Salavarabje, Namkim Tarti Chirpa Chatamber, Simchanamanim, Tayan, Dibjan and De, Chatamalitam, Yomon, Tajaraba, Daka, Molam and Tayan, Tetzam, Kayam Shoji, Janam Taiba, Remchanajan, Dib, Jalavanam La Pala, Hatam, Yebdeva. Chonamaja, Jangab, Danya, the Kaparam Padavi, Kangim over Jarpun, the two names, Janchaban Chocolate, Jesus, and Motion, Lanchikamiam, Talapan, Jarpana, so Namatambum, Chotum, Dangerero. Kangi Zonshel Molam and the Tabby, Tin and Son Tamjarapan, Varanger, Tin Chopon and Barpawayan, now I'm tight, they are them Yeramton. They Tagan Yarparam, Yara, they were so, but seem that I am they Tagan. Zambo Tang Chandava, the Tagarampur Matogo Devshinamir, Samilang about the deep and Ganga Meshi, one gives she patag, Dave Zambo Shirpan, the Judan, near the Malay also Shawaramir. Yeshi Donna Zitan Sanamada, Rita Katawanam Dam Dambaramir, the Tamar Tagamambo de Mataban, Jitin Sambo Kanam Chaparamir, Shanchipisha one drone the Demirum do, Sony Simchanam Pam Shirap in the day, Shanchipis or Jim Color at the Kuru, the Namade Tam Chipa Tam Chatap, Kaya Zambu Shurpa, Moldam and the Chawa Tam Tun the Melonaya. They number member, Son Jim Chenham, Shanchip Chola, Somnia, Mafshidi, Jamakola, Chitrum Kimba, Gandab, Zambo, they are Division and they Takakanji, Jism, Double Hope Sharer, gave one that Takatam Chatter after Mo. This summer shepherd, Jaratam Chatter Jim, oh, I can't lamb Chotam, Yapati. Daka gave us 7 decana jam, Zambo, Church, after more of you. Daganam Chivi, Tipshire, Japana, Japatam, Jatakanam, Shamsalati, Monsamana, I'm time, Tim Tony, they were changes on the raptum. There's only in Mulam and the Takajam, Tamcha Mali, Mondan, Jeravaresho, the Tagamali, the king also come, Jitin and Chatra, the Semchan and Pamperbia. Yellow Kim Korab Zanja Gavati, Pamotam back and then really, now I'm the Yermim on Samanda, Lomtan Bayam, Ducky, their Tubusho. Their name Ducky, Lomtan up to the name, Jelpama, Bob Shiva, Jay, Bloy, to Chief Shochan, I'm saying, Simchan and Amla Pamba, Mambob, Zambo Sherpa, Molamatom Baya, Giwa, Chons of the Kim, Chasapa, they named over Molamagiwanam, Kachi, Tamchalam Jurvresho. I am some of Japan, them beam, soon the Mantai, them back on Tobity. They were a chever of Shamanam, all of what made the Bernie of a Toperaso. Molamajapon, the Takam Chaka, so time do I can lap him she the young, can dab some put jambu, Jean Trabati, Lanson in the Mamali, Stover. Sandir, Garsamani, Shanabatan, Junior, the man get a dimber, Shanavatan, Gimdanam of Shalam, Dumber, Shanabaji, Chattarango, Molam and Deperation. Talia, the Bantan and Jaya, Awam Buddha, so high. Pammy, the dream, or Jet and Jim Jet, Panam Revelera, Balamber, Caramanto, Lontoric, what Jimmy the Panzo, Jabla, sort of anti, get that conversion, the Banyan Lash. Create Chitam, Deperation, Jelo, Sorta, Yeton, Dolmir, Salangamed, and Dever came the Pamban drove us as a Jalawa, Jamsum Chani, Jigala, Shinchin, Papa, Shipa, Solomon, Militum, Sorona, Yam Tagamdor, Tapayashi, now I'm shocked to the jumps of Shangham, Jeeper, Yam Jeraton, Kim Jibson, Malam, sort of Andy, Katim, and Jeradurji, she served and Chanim, Zarbim, Shokim, Koroloch, Yam Delachayam, Tam Sears, my Tamdo, Tam de, Ronta, Jam, Jerawa, Trip Zamo, Tatana Tam Jam to name Tibito, Miller has some Timberim, and Dotonam Japa, Games and Barajam, Lapa, Zamdana, Zambay, Depa, so Jane named the young Gajan, the Water, Sheladim, Shavi, Tandy, where Taptanam, Shagam, the Jeeper, Trashi. Joy, oh my, Banzer, Gere, Panama, Sada, oh my, Banzer, Gere, Panama, Sada.
尊贵的上师仁波切，尊敬的堪布堪姆以及现场的诸位道友，大家晚上好。在《论语》里面，不仅有天下大道之治，更重要的是它永远不失去脚下朴素的起点。它告诉我们修养身心的道理，并且会给出一条脚下的路，让我们抵达自己